In professional sports, it's very rare that you come into a situation or a locker room situation where you genuinely enjoy the guys. And it didn't matter if it was any of the rookies or any of the veterans. When I think of the memories that I had with these guys, it's something that I'll hold on to for a long time. Whether it was that first trip to Orlando and we had our little competition with the Olympics, to going through difficult times, the 4-game losing streak, to then lifting up the Supporter Shield. And it's truly remarkable this past season to be able to have those types of friendships that I hope last for a long time.
Every day I get to come to training with a great group of guys that I really enjoy training with, playing with, working with. I get along really well with everybody, and that makes going to work every day really special.
Ever since I got into Red Bull Academy, the coaches always said that the goal is to become a first-team player. And from the beginning, I always dreamed of becoming a first-team player and envisioned myself to be one.
The team is very welcoming to young players, and the coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for that. And it's a great environment for kids to come into the first team from the academy and work hard in training and be fearless. So I think that all stems from the younger guys establishing themselves and pushing themselves every day, and that culture being formed.
Jesse and the coaching staff, Dennis, Chris, John Walneck, Ibrahim Sagaya, they all instilled a lot of confidence in me from the beginning. That helped me as a player go out there and give it my all, not be scared and play fearlessly.
To move back to the States, to settle my family here in New Jersey, and like I said earlier, be around a great group of guys, and then have Jesse be the leader of our group has been amazing. He's first and foremost a very good person, and somebody that I've known for a long time, and now that I've had the pleasure of working under him and working for him, it's been nothing but a success. I think he's a great leader, and it's been awesome to work with him, and I hope that we continue our relationship for many more years.
You look at each part of our team, whether it's up front, or in the midfield, or in the back, there's a lot of quality there. There's a lot of not only soccer quality, but character.
You have a lot of seasoned veterans like Sasha, Bradley, Dax, Felipe, and those guys are very helpful when you have those guys in front of you doing a lot of the work, and you just try to clean up some messes.
Looking back, they were guys that I could always approach to with questions, and they would always give me advice. So, like I said, it was an ideal situation for me. I was able to contribute somewhat on the first team, and to be able to play alongside those guys was a real honor and something that I'll always remember. It was the perfect environment for me this season to see how these guys show up every day, how they're able to perform game in, game out. Just the leadership qualities that they showed throughout the year is something that I was able to pick up on a day-to-day basis, really.
Last year, there was this idea that everything that Brad is because of Thierry. So this year, not only did he have the pressure to prove people wrong, but Jesse asked him to play a completely different role. And for him to come away with 17 goals, 7 assists, that doesn't even begin to talk about the work that he put in, because the way that we play, he dictates our pressure. He sets the tone, he sets the example of what it's like to work and be all in. I think Lloyd has established himself as one of the best wingers in the league. Before this year, I'm sure not too many teams were game planning for Lloyd, and by the end of this year, every team was. They understood that if they weren't able to shut him down, they were going to have their hands full, and that he was going to be able to pick them apart. I'm thinking that when it's all said and done, he'll look back at 2015 and smile at least. Lloyd and I came in at the same time, so we have that special bond, and he's one of my favorite teammates of all time.
I came in as the new guy. I needed to learn Lloyd Sam's tendencies and learn how to create a relationship with Bradley Wright Phillips. And so for the first half of the season, I think the team scored a lot of goals, but I personally was struggling to find my form within the group and within my position. But from the second half of the season on, I don't think there were many better players in the league, and I felt very confident in myself. I'm going to carry that into next season. I think now that I've gotten to know these guys and know this group, I'm going to keep pushing the limits next season and hopefully have an even better year and hopefully lift more trophies, because that's the main goal in the end.
Matt was a guy that we had high hopes for in the beginning of the season, but we didn't necessarily want to overwhelm him with responsibility right away. But he was forced into the lineup, and he was a huge part of what we're doing.
Playing with Damien and Ronald, they've been very helpful. They're experienced guys, veterans. They've played in Europe, highest level, so playing with them definitely helped me. I know I can always count on them to cover me and to help me out, so that's been great.
With Damien, he's also a guy that we knew we could count on, but we didn't realize just how much we could count on him. For a season to end the way that it did was a little bitter, but you know, he's huge for us going forward. And then Zoo, unfortunately in his first season, he dealt with some setbacks from an injury standpoint, but we're optimistic going forward that he's going to solidify what we're doing in the back. I mean, more than anything, there's a lot of quality they got. And unfortunately there's only 4 positions, and not even touch on Kamar, you know, who came in and we didn't even know if he was going to be a starter or what role he was going to play, and he just kind of took that left back spot and made it his own, and had a lot of success internationally as well. I think personally I was a major benefactor of the team's success. I was able to be at least honored with certain personal awards, but I know that I couldn't have done that without the guys. With us winning Supporter Shield, with us breaking the franchise record of 18 wins, it speaks to what Jesse was saying at the beginning of the year, is that if this team is successful, certain individuals' status is going to be elevated. And I think I'm a direct benefactor of that. So I know from a personal standpoint it's something that's incredible and you want to celebrate that, but deep down I also know that I couldn't do it without those guys. It was one of those years that we're always going to look back at and just smile. We're grateful for the opportunity to play for this organization. We say that time and time again because it's something that we genuinely feel. And this is what I speak of when I mean that my confidence comes from the locker room. When I look around the locker room and I see the guys that are in there and I know who they are as people, you know that they're fully committed to the cause and that they want this team to do well. From a collective standpoint, we all are all in.